I've been steampunked.
Oh, right in the wallet.
So this one, you're dealing with weight, because since we're traveling through time, we're allowing mass to be created and destroyed. Oh no! Nope, didn't make it up there in time. Just restart. When Congregate sponsored this, one of their early pieces of feedback was originally if you decided you weren't going to fail, or you decided you were going to fail, you just restart everything. They wanted to be like, can you make it so that you can just undo the last thing that you did?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a good idea. That makes the game actually playable. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. You want to allow time for a guy to get on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these things are funny too, because like you can kind of jump on them to keep them from going down.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use fewer guys, but it's not really realistic. Okay, so yeah, there we go. And then I don't have to, but can use this to weigh it.
In order to get back.
I hope that guy doesn't fall. Okay, he's good. We're all good. And the animations for when the definitely not a TARDIS from Doctor Who.
Yeah, clearly not. Clearly
right.
not. No, it's an elevator door, obviously.
It's based on a porta potty. It looks like
That's a fancy fucking porta potty that has doors that open from the inside and slide out.
I guess that's true. I guess didn't one of the LucasArts games had a Chrono John?
Oh yeah.
Time traveling porta potty. Yeah, that's something I noticed after this game came out. So this is one of those, like, you gotta have a guy hang out here to let a guy get back.
It's actually really interesting. Your implementation of time travel co-op is the same as what showed up much later, and I believe it's fan-made. A fan-made Portal game working with time travel.
Oh, okay. I'm just screwing around here. I should. I wanted to restart entirely. Yeah, I found somebody was working on a GBA hack that was this game.
Really?
Yeah, and they were using my sprites, and I found it on the web, and I was like, "This is cool." I know you, like, he said he planned on changing the sprites later, so it was like copyright. Like, I'll just like write you a little license to use it. It's not charging anything for it.
Yeah,
so
right.
What do I care? It's awesome. And basically it's you have to have one of those carts that can play GBA ROMs. So whatever. I don't know if you ever ended up finishing it, but it looked really cool. I was going to do a DSi version of this game too. I signed a contract and stuff, but
really?
The devs that were going to do it never found a publisher. So that was sad. And I am working on a mobile version of this, but that's the other dev and I are both doing a lot of contract stuff. So it's definitely backburnered.
Mobile version being like the touch controls and stuff like that.
What we want to do for that is have player design levels. So
that'd be cool.
Oh, right. That's what I was going to say. The thing about the Chinese devs that stole the game was that they didn't design the levels around the bugs like I do. There's plenty of ideas I've had that you just don't want to do because there's bugs that you'll notice.
Yeah.
Some people actually have had problems with like desynchronizing and stuff. The day this came out, there's a bunch of reported desync bugs, like past selves doing stuff they hadn't done.
Sure.
And hey, I wanted to jump on that. Oh, whatever. I'll just have a guy that just does nothing. There we go. Apparently, I had programmed it using something similar to multi-threading, which is a bad idea for this. And then, so I programmed it on a dual core, but people playing on a single core or a quad core problems. So
Interesting.
I stayed up all night reprogramming the game, like the main time travel thing of the game. It was not fun. It was really stressful.
I imagine.
But
So
some people do still have issues with weirdness happening in this game. I'm not sure what causes it, but it works on most browsers. So I'm not. I mean, it's a really old game. I'm not making that much money off. Like, I still get checks. Game Show Network bought CPM Star, which was the ad company. I blew myself up. I hit reset. Game Show Network bought CPM Star. So, oh, you clicked off.
Oh, did I? Oh, whoops, sorry.
So they own the company that puts the ads in the game for
it's
distributed on different websites.
Mm-hmm.
So I get checks from Game Show Network. I go take the bank, and they're like, "So do you play games online and make money?" I'm like, "No, I make games. I make games, and I get like these tiny royalty checks."
So, how? I mean, I understand if you don't want to touch on it and to great a degree. But how profitable has Chronotron been for you?
I mean, I think it did pretty well for a Flash game. It was, but definitely a supplemental income. It wasn't, it's gas money still.
Sure.
Days. The fact that it had a very long tail was really helpful. It was actually plenty up front. Congregate was very generous up front with their licensing. So I don't know if you know that much about how the Flash game license world used to work.
Yeah, not at all. I didn't know that it was like a thing. Like I knew that. Well, basically, I mean, my pinhole vision of it, and probably a lot of people's vision of it was, that like a lot of these portals.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Newgrounds, for example, would have people who were just submitting their own work, and there was not really necessarily any compensation there.
Mm-hmm.
At least is my guess. It was just a way to put something out and flex your muscles in animation or in whatever you're pursuing. And some of the bigger things maybe were featured or whatever, partner kind of things. But when you look at companies like Armor Games or any of these other Flash game portals, I always thought that they just had like a team of programmers pumping out different mini games. I didn't think about the possibility of licensing.
No, Armor Games are one of the few that do have in-house programmers.
Okay.
Or did. This is like years old information. But for the most part, including Armor Games, they do it through licensing. So how it works is there's a license called a primary sponsorship with options for other sponsorships, right? So the company that bought the primary license for Chronotron was Congregate. So they say, we want the game exclusively on our website for a week. Anyone can put their game on their website, but if it's on their website, it has our branding on it.
Okay.
And a link that says like play more games on the main menu, right? I'm getting that right arrow key sticky thing again.
Joy to key can be a little finicky.
Yeah. And I'm not doing this level right either. Let's just restart it. Sorry. So what that is doing is saying like, okay, I get money because I license it to Congregate. They get the exclusive and for a while and ads on their site. They share ad revenue with me, but they make money from ads on their site. And then they release this game for free, which becomes content for all these other websites that want to have Flash games on their site. Those Flash game websites can have ads on the site, but the ads in the game go to me, and the link on the game goes back to Congregate.
Okay.
So we've got 3 parties that each get something out of the deal, right?
Sure.
So I get compensated for my game from a couple sources. Congregate gets exclusive content that makes them cool, and gets like free advertising on other video game websites for their video game website.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of other smaller game websites get free content.
Yeah.
That's legal.
So then, this is essentially, Congregate would be considered Chronotron's home.
Yes. And it has the badges you can earn. Now, the other cool thing, here's the introduction of the pause mechanic. The other cool thing is that there's also an option for what's called a site lock license. So another website that is, say, large enough to be able to afford it, that absolutely does not want to have links back to Congregate, they can... I'm trying to remember how to play this game. Here, I paused it. Hey, look, it's black and white when it's paused, just like in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Pausing creates essentially teleportation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Addicting Games, Newgrounds, a bunch of other websites, they'll spend like a little bit less money and get a site lock of the game. So the game is specially programmed so that it screws up if it's not on their website.
Huh.
Looks for the URL, and if it doesn't see it, it does some cable scrambling style
Interesting
tricks. And
I've never encountered that. I didn't know that was a thing that was done.
All of the branding for Congregate's removed. They might add their own brand. They might add their own logo. If they want to pay extra, they can, and it's all negotiated with me or through flashgamelicense.com, which was they're basically brokers for that kind of thing. Really, really cool guys. This is based on the Aesop fable of the crow and the stones. Give it some more time here. Whoops! I just cast a paradise. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so maybe they'll have special badges and stuff. I did do 5 levels that are exclusive to Congregate for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone else has a site lock license, they can access those levels too. Also, some Easter egg levels in this game.
Interesting. I didn't realize that so much really went into that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of negotiation too.
Sure.
Say, okay, I can sell you this, and I'll charge you this much, and they're like, well, I don't really want to spend that much, and they're like, oh, well, we'll see. But for the most part, it's like, up front, here's my prices. And,
yeah.
So you can go to Addicting Games, play the game, and you won't see any of the Congregate branding.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to Newgrounds, same thing. And the Newgrounds community is actually really cool because that's where I found out that the game had been pirated.
Really?
Because they messaged, those people care.
Mm-hmm.
They're artists, they care about that stuff. And people on Congregate are there to play games. People on Newgrounds are there to share art.
Sure.
And they messaged me saying, hey, someone's ripping off your game.
Huh.
And they all messaged me again when they thought someone was ripping off my game, but it was Cartoon Network has a Johnny Test game,
mm-hmm.
which is this game, which they licensed and they paid money for.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I actually had one of my old Web Courseworks coworkers do all the coding for it because I was at 3 Rings at the time, so I couldn't take on a real programming job.
Yeah.
Contractually, but I could do this licensing thing. So yeah, she her name is Asia. She went and did all the reprogramming, changed all the art assets. And we went in, they're like, we think the game's a little too hard for kids. So went in, we added a couple new tutorial levels. I cut out some levels that I wasn't happy with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Johnny Test game. It's on CartoonNetwork.com.
That's really cool.
They paid me really well for it.
That is really cool.
Fox Kids was going to pay me to do a Turtles in Time version of it too. Donatello. But they lost their license while they were doing it. Like, I don't know. The negotiations took long enough that it ended up not going through. So they ended up paying for the license for the game and not rebranding it.
That's too bad. You would officially be my hero if you had made a Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah. Well, it would have been. Oh, this is where you can alter the past without causing a paradox. So you get this guy to have gone up and hit that in the past, even though he didn't. But since he still makes it to the time machine, time hasn't been altered enough to actually cause a paradox.
Huh.